I don't know. It's fine.
Well, whatever. It is what it is. Anyways,
All right,
three,
here.
2, 1. The recording's already on.
All right. How about I give the historical background, or not
Okay,
historical background?
sure. Well,
I feel like that's
anyways,
a good way.
well, welcome
To
to another
start it
episode of
off.
the Does Things podcast.
Oh, are you starting all the way over?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna put those two together.
Well, I might put it in the blooper reel at the end. Now is what you call an intro right there. No, I might put it in the blooper reel. Yeah, people will see. They'll know the context, anyways. But yeah, so let's actually just jump straight to the conversation because small talk is not something I have in me right now. If I'm being completely honest, I mean, we already had our what's it called, our slice of life conversation while we were at Chili's or just now.
Also,
So-
last episode or the last.
The
Recording.
last recording will contextualize it a little better. Nah, but
Well, I mean, like the one last week.
wait, what last week? What about? Oh, I was talking about
Yeah.
the Bamboo Bistro.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was okay. I
Not-
mean, I get the saltiest item on the menu, so it's hard to judge.
Yeah. Not the. Like the recording we just did 5 minutes ago. Not that.
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about?
Never mind. Let's move on.
Yeah, thank God. Also, apologies for the lighting. I'm not putting effort into this. If I'm being really honest, I mean, this goes back to what's called college vibes. We're broke college students. Well,
I'm just tired.
hold on. We're not broke college students. You literally just graduated, and I never went to college. Anyways, my God,
You are in a college town.
you are
right
in a
now.
college dorm, yeah, or apartment complex.
Yeah.
Anyways, dude, yeah. So like I said, we're gonna go jump straight to the conversation. Roe v. Wade. What do you got?
Nice segue.
I mean, you did say it just
All right.
now.
So I don't know the historical as much as other people do, but basically we all know what Roe v. Wade is.
Yeah,
It was decided in like 1970 something ish.
yeah,
So been the precedent for like 50-ish years.
Yeah.
And no, it's not.
for now.
Trump got pretty lucky with 3 Supreme Court nominees.
Yeah,
And he got them all through. And 3 is very rare. It's very rare to get 3
mm-hmm.
within your presidency, especially considering he was one term.
Yeah,
Also, 3 is pretty rare for even 2-term presidents.
Yeah.
So I guess a little bit of RNG kind of
yeah. Life. I mean, in a way, I guess.
random number generator.
Sure. I mean, you can put it that way, I suppose.
Well, for those that don't know what RNG means, it basically just means random. A little bit of randomness got us here as well.
Yeah.
So
It all started because we voted Trump as a meme.
Okay, be careful with the word "we" right there.
Yeah, you're right.
America,
I don't associate with them. I don't associate with them either. Like, yeah.
please, Paul. You're putting this on the internet. Yeah, and so obviously the Supreme Court.
Just to be clear, no, I did not vote for Trump. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
I didn't vote at all. I'm gonna put that out there.
that's another conversation.
No,
I voted. You're
That's
welcome,
fine.
America.
yeah. Literally any American candidacy right now. Yeah, but yeah, though.
But yeah, so the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, and obviously that undoes a lot of the way we're used to things being for the last 50 years. Particularly if you live in a red state,
Yeah.
your things are going to change.
Oh, 100%.
And it's pretty dramatic, actually. I know you remember the leak, and that was probably like in March.
Yeah.
April. Like everyone saw it coming,
Oh yeah, for sure.
but I still feel like once the decision was actually released, I don't know. I saw it on my phone. I woke up and I saw it on my phone, and I was like, "No fucking way!
Yeah.
No way!" Like, I don't. It felt unreal. I felt like I had to like see it from multiple sources to believe it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It didn't really settle in for me for like
Yeah.
a few more days.
Yeah.
But once it settled in, it was just like, it's just not the same. Like This is a very different world we live in
Yeah, yeah.
now.
I can tell you what I was doing. No, I cannot tell you what I was doing when that news broke out to me. I think, bro, I think I didn't even realize it was overturned until like 5 days later. Because I was just scrolling on Instagram one day and they were still talking about Roe v. Wade. I'm like, oh, what the hell's happening here? Uh, so that's how I found out. No, but like I'll admit my initial reaction, I was like, how do I put this? Jaded in a way. Because I mean, I think part of it is because I don't generally don't take sides for the most part, other than my own side. Got him. But so I'll say this, right? The overturning of Roe v. Wade has shown the worst on both sides of the spectrum, or at least what I've been seeing. Because I actually read through public comments about on different public posts and whatnot.
Wow, you read public comments?
Yeah, I do.
That's crazy.
Dude. Crazy. No, but seriously though, no, I've seen both worse on both sides, so that's probably why I didn't. Probably why I felt jaded. Because I mean, I saw a lot more stupid on both sides, if anything, if I'm being honest. So the point of the story, there is none. That's the end of the podcast. No, fuck. I keep forgetting because it's late at night. It's late at night. I'm kind of tired, but I just want to knock this out. Nah, dude. I guess we could just the next best way to build into it is like, hey, where's your stance on this? And I'll elaborate on mine later.
I mean, I'm pro-choice. Actually, I feel like I've become more pro-choice since the overturning
Yeah.
because once Roe was actually overturned, there was a lot more discussion about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think I saw some points that maybe I hadn't considered before.
Yeah.
But also I saw some, I guess, counterpoints.
Yeah.
That I was like, that's not
very
right.
good.
There's a little something more to that. So I think I've become a little more pro-choice since it actually overturned. But I don't know. I mean,
it's a difficult situation for sure. Like, it's just, I don't think there's a black and white answer to this.
I think, well, I do feel like regardless of where you actually stand on the issue, I think in general, people should be able to agree that America is moving backwards.
Yeah.
I feel like most pro-lifers would say America is moving forward.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are happy with this ruling.
Yeah.
But the rest of the world is shooketh, right?
Yeah, they're looking at us like, what?
At us. Even Boris Johnson. Even Boris Johnson is kind of like, what's going on over there? Yeah. It was so weird to me because I saw his public comment about the overturning.
Yeah.
And he was like reinforcing abortion access in the UK. And I was like, I thought Boris was supposed to be like a UK Trump. And I was like, what's happening right now?
I don't know, dude. It's a weird situation. I mean, like, so where I stand, right? It really depends on how you define pro-choice and pro-life, because the definition for both seems to fluctuate depending on the argument. It literally fluctuates to benefit the context of the arguments. Like sometimes, hey yo, I think did you hit my mute?
Yeah, I was drinking.
Oh, okay. Oh, don't tell me you've been muted the entire time.
No, I have respect for people who listen through my microphone. You don't need to hear me drinking water.
Yeah.
Or hear the sounds of the air mattress moving around.
I mean, that's gonna. I mean, I have like a lot of filters, audio filters are out, so it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, no, but it's just saying, because how do I say this? When pro-choice argues against pro-life, they would bring up, they would redefine pro-life in a different way, so they can argue against it, and then vice versa. Pro-life would redefine of pro-choice in another way, so it would work in their argument, which is really fucking dumb on both, and shame on both sides, really. Okay, so the way I define pro-life and pro-choice, and where I stand on it, I'll be right in the middle, because to be pro-life, you have to value the concept of choices. That's part of life. You make your own choices. You have the freedom to make your own choices, and that's a value I heavily held on to my entire life growing up.
It's
especially
a value you heavily value.
What did I say?
No,
No, I'm saying it's a value I've held on to since I was growing up.
I know. I'm just messing you. Go ahead.
I haven't, it would be better if I knew what you were saying.
Continue on.
No, like I said, growing up in a Vietnamese culture where every choice is literally made for you by other people. I'm like, this is bullshit. Which is why I moved on from that culture. So that's why I value choices very, how do I say it,
Strong.
fervently as I do, because we're all individuals. We are responsible for our own choices, and we have to be allowed to make our own choices. Nobody should be able to make it for us. But to be pro-choice, you're valuing life. You're valuing something that one of the main aspects that defines life. So to be pro-life, you're pro-choice, and to be pro-choice, you're pro-life. That's my definition. That's why I'm in the middle of it. So now, if we actually put it into the context of abortion, for example. So I value the sanctity of life, right? So abortion isn't my preferred choice, but at the same time, the sanctity of life is also passed down to the woman that is bearing the child as well. So what if, abortion wouldn't be my first choice, but like, let's say, it's a life-threatening pregnancy, right? Drop that baby. Fuck it. Fuck that thing. No, but like, no, you get the point though, right? Like, it's very situational.
Yeah,
for sure. That's why I always say it's not a very black and white situation.
I think one of the things about Roe being overturned is that red states can make these laws where almost objectively medically necessary situations wouldn't be legal anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's frankly extreme.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's stuff like that that really just makes it feel like you're living in a different country than you did a few months ago.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. Like, everything's basically flipped on its head. Like, you saw were you hearing like horror stories of how like nurses were like had to like turn down clients or patients because like as soon as it was announced it was overturned, like they literally started
they didn't know the legality.
Yeah, like they literally had to turn away patients, and I was like, oh, that's heartbreaking, man. That's pretty heartbreaking, dude.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of old people in government.
We do. We do.
I feel like that's the reason we have a lot of stagnancy right now.
Yeah.
And if we had better sex ed, we weren't so stigmatized about like protection, these kind of situations wouldn't arise as much as often.
No, absolutely
like not nearly as much.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like the sex ed we had in high school was garbage. Like, it was so bad. Like, I feel like I learned more at UT just from like the little module they make you do before you can even take classes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, the fact that you have to get parental approval to take a sex ed class is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it, dude. Like, sex ed isn't just about the primal feeling of it or the primal pleasure of it. That's not what sex ed is. It's not teaching you how to have better sex in your life. That's not what sex ed is trying to do. Sex ed is just general health in general.
Yeah.
That's what sex ed is.
Yeah.
But
I feel like we often, or I don't know about often, but I mean like I have a cough.
Yeah, this guy has COVID. He's a virus.
I don't have COVID. I feel like people who are pro-life, but also like anti, like protection and education.
Oh yeah,
and those kind of things. Like, what's your solution? I feel like there's no solution.
There's really no solution to it. I mean, like, and I feel like that's just breeding another generation of stupidity. I mean,
I don't know. Gen Z really is a different generation.
it really is. I feel like Gen Z has a lot of their own problems.
I feel like millennials and Gen Zs are in very similar boats.
Yeah.
But I really feel like there's a big generation difference between millennials and.
Are we Gen Z?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's what I mean. Like, I mean, I'll probably expand more on this Gen Z topic a little later because like I have some experiences I'm gonna share about for sure.
But you're Gen Z, so you can't buy a house. How's that make you feel?
You know what? I'll just be home. No, hey man, if you're homeless, just buy a house. It's not that hard.
Wait, but what's the generation?
That was a joke.
Oh, Gen X. Gen X is between, so it's Boomers, Gen X, Millennials, Gen Z.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like Gen
For
X.
For the longest time, I thought we were
about
millennials, but yeah.
I mean, sometimes I feel more like a millennial.
Yeah.
Than a Gen Z, but we are technically Gen Z.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a really big difference between millennials and Gen X. Like that point, I guess, onward.
Yeah.
Like through Gen Z.
Yeah.
I feel like our world is extremely different.
Oh, 100%.
Like
our lingo.
Cost of education.
Cost of education, cost of housing,
living, like, costs so much when you're like so young.
Oh,
it's like how do you even start your life like that?
Exactly.
And then now we have.
And now you're stuck in a constant work life, cycle of working.
Like we're the ones that are gonna feel the wrath of climate change.
Yeah.
Like once it, we're the ones that are gonna be living through it.
Yeah.
Like we're already starting, and now it's just
for
kind of like. Oh, great. This is my life.
Yeah. That's always wondered. I was like, oh man, I hope I'm not around when all that problem happens. That's what I always told myself back in middle school. And then like, well, it came around a lot sooner for sure. Nah, dude. So where were we about the conversation?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I guess what I was trying to like go back to is that like especially the last 2 years, we've experienced a lot of history in our lifetime, and it's
insane political turmoil. At least here in the West, anyways. Okay, here in America, more specifically.
Yeah, well, everything I'm saying right now is American because I am internationally ignorant.
Yeah.
For the most part. And so now Gen Z and Millennials, which are kind of like the age group of discussion, I suppose, for Roe. Now we get to deal with the lack of Roe.
Yeah. I mean, we're dudes, so we're fine.
I mean, yeah, but it still affects us too.
I mean, up to a degree.
Indirectly,
yeah, for sure. But I mean, I feel like as dudes who can't get pregnant, because some dudes can. Duh. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's a joke too. No, but as guys, for the most part, we can't get pregnant. I mean, I feel like there's a couple anomalies out there. I haven't really looked into it, but I feel like there is. Anyways, but my point is, generally men can't get pregnant. It doesn't affect us as much because we don't have to we're not the ones carrying the child, so we don't have to make the decision of should we get it aborted from our bodies or whatever the hell. That's the way I see it, And I mean, even if you knock up another girl, you can always just disappear. Yeah, you said it sounds like a joke, but
is that ethical?
No, but it happens more frequently than it should.
Okay.
But even if it's not ethical, right? But that choice is still on the board for us. We could wipe our hands clean of it and not be responsible for the child if the mother decides not to have an abortion.
Yeah.
Which goes back to the conversation, hey, if you don't want to abort the child, then you better pay your child support then. Which I honestly kind of agree with, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's controversial.
Apparently it is. Otherwise.
It is?
It really is, yeah. I mean, conservatives are like, oh, I don't want to pay child support. I wish I was kidding, dude. I really wish I was kidding about this.
Are you sure you didn't read some troll comments?
No, but it's a pretty vehement argument.
And they were pro-life.
It's a typical pro-life versus pro-choice I don't remember what the pro-life said um um about paying child support. I don't really necessarily remember what they said. I just remember the bottom line was, oh, they're not paying child support either way.
Yeah.
Which is a little ridiculous. Because I mean, neither in a situation like these, neither party planned for this, nor they probably didn't want it either. So I mean, like, they should both. Why should the burden only be weighed on the woman or the mother?
Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know, man. It's pretty ridiculous. No, so I mean, let's just go back to the continuous double standard in our society. I mean, I don't think double standard is necessarily a bad thing. I mean,
what?
No, yeah, because I
How
mean,
would double standard be a good thing?
I don't have an example in my head.
Then wrong.
I mean, I know I have an example. I don't remember what it was, but I mean, this
Yeah.
because like I said, nothing is black and white. I mean, of course, I'm not saying there's no bad that could happen from double standards, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude.
I don't know. It's just things are very different now, and
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Roe's been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
Other kind of unrelated cases, or at least different topics,
yeah,
depend on Roe. So now,
yeah,
those things are subject to overruling as well.
Yeah.
Forgot the other thing I was gonna say. Oh, I don't know. I don't think Democrats are really gonna do much to fix this.
And I'm not sure if they can either. Can they? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the our government system, the actual government system works.
In my professional government minor opinion, they can fix this, but they'd have to take some extreme actions to do so.
Yeah.
Which would either it would just be like, holy shit, like they did that, kind of like.
Yeah.
If they okay, so I guess long story short, they could do something if they get rid of the filibuster. But if they do get rid of the filibuster, and I think this is where, so a lot of people, slight tangent, a lot of people want to get rid of the filibuster so that they can pass certain legislation they want, right?
Yeah.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
But if you get rid of the filibuster for that piece of legislation, you also have to deal with the consequences of when your party loses power, you no longer have the filibuster to protect yourself,
to
protect your party. And so I feel like that's not something people generally consider when they talk about getting rid of the filibuster so that they can do what they want, because it definitely can come back to bite you.
Yeah.
So that's a slight tangent. But if Democrats really did want to make a constitutional amendment or make a law, they could get rid of the filibuster, and they could do it before the next election.
Yeah.
But, that would be another very big change. And so I don't really predict. Democrats don't make big moves, They don't do like, oh shit, like that's a big deal the way that Republicans do.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really.
And that's why I tend to appreciate conservatives. They generally stand behind the things they say and actually do something about it.
Yeah.
I think I would say liberals, but I think it's more of a Gen Z problem where it's literally just all lip service.
Like, Republicans play hardball.
Oh, 100%.
In Congress.
100%, which is why I respect them for that.
When they.
I don't agree with the decisions, but.
I think the best example of Republican hardball is in March of 2016, or like the beginning of that year, or the end of 2015.
Yeah.
When Obama put up Merrick Garland as a Supreme Court nominee.
Yeah.
But Mitch McConnell blocked it and said you can't have a Supreme Court nominee in an election year.
Yeah.
Right. There's actually no rule about that, right? So McConnell was kind of like setting a precedent.
Yeah.
And like making the rule.
Yeah.
But in 2020, yeah. In 2020, it was like 3 weeks before an election.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
Trump elected
nominated
Nancy Pelosi? I don't know my people. I don't know anybody. Who is it?
Oh, that's actually hilariously funny because it's so wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured. Who's Nancy Pelosi again?
Nancy Pelosi's the House Speaker.
What's a House Speaker?
Okay, we'll come back to government 101.
Does she speak for the Republic?
We'll come back to government 101 in a little bit.
Does she speak for the Republican Party?
No, she's a Democrat.
Then the Democrat Party.
We'll come back. Don't worry.
We're not going to remember this.
Okay, to stay on topic.
Bro, Nancy Pelosi sounds like a conservative name. That's why I thought it was a Republican.
You think so?
I think so, yeah. First of all, Nancy.
I guess.
And a Pelosi, a whack-ass white name. All right, that sounds pretty conservative to me.
She's very Democrat.
Well, Nancy Pelosi.
Well,
I sort of apologize.
Okay, well, anyway, what happened is McConnell said, no, you can't have a Supreme Court nominee in an election year.
Some chick named Amy that
then
Trump elected.
So then fast forward to 2020, Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies.
Oh, that's right.
Like September, right?
And then he replaced her with some chick named
Amy Coney Barrett.
Yes, that's what I meant.
And
that's what I meant.
We know what you meant, but we also heard what you said.
It did not come out wrong. No, it didn't come out right. I agree. No,
Republicans, Mitch McConnell specifically, they pushed the shit of Amy Coney Barrett through Congress.
Yeah.
Right? So that they would make sure they had this nomination secured before the election.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was kind of a toss-up if Trump would get reelected or not.
Yeah.
And if Trump didn't get reelected, then conservatives were going to lose out on this Supreme Court judge.
Yeah.
They could have. I've never seen so much hypocrisy in my life before. Literally 4 years ago, McConnell said you can't have a Supreme Court nominee in an election year.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks before an election,
literally 3 weeks,
he shoves through
the
Supreme Court nominee. And if that didn't happen, like if Democrats blocked it better, or if Republicans were, just a little more, like, what's the word? Like, I'm tired. What's the word? Like honest, or have some dignity, or
have more integrity.
If Republicans had a little more integrity, Roe probably wouldn't have been overturned.
Yeah, I believe it.
Amy wouldn't have gotten through.
Oh yeah, 100%. No,
but like, Democrats do not play like that.
Yeah,
they don't. They just don't.
They don't. I don't think they play at all.
Not really.
They just sit in their chair and like, oh no, something's happening.
I feel like Democrats do a lot of.
It's a lot of lip
virtue
service
signaling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a lot of lip service. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think it's more of a Gen Z problem.
They don't get stuff done.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I always have fucking problems with liberals, dude. It's nothing but fucking talk. And when they do talk, it's a lot of stupid shit. Okay, not all the time, obviously. Yeah, I think it's a Gen Z problem. They say some stupid shit. So like you'd hear for conversation on abortion, for example, right? You'd hear women saying, "Hey, if you're a man, you don't get an opinion on abortion, right?" And then as soon as Roe v. Wade got overturned, they're saying, "Oh, if you're a man and you're not speaking up about this, you're a problem."
For things like that.
Things like that, for example, yeah.
For things like that, it's tough because, like, these are very large groups of people we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, like, it's hard to call out hypocrisy on groups of people because.
Yeah. That's why I narrowed it down to Gen Z.
Like, you can't control groups of people.
No, you definitely can't. No.
You could call it hypocrisy on, like, how one person, like, on one individual.
Yeah.
Which is why, to me, it's so easy to call out McConnell's hypocrisy on the Supreme Court nominee.
Whereas I'm pointing out random Instagram comments.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of like how it is when there's so many people in the world.
Dude, okay, I'm gonna have to bleep out her name when I get to the editing. But you remember Gabby back in middle school band, saxophone player?
Yeah.
She literally said exactly what I just told you, and it made me so mad. I'm like, I'm on your side of this, but you're really pissing me off with your stupid ass comments. Like, oh my god, why do people not see irony? Do people not see irony? Huh? Like,
honestly, when Roe happened, I didn't look at anyone's stories because I knew it was all gonna be the same thing.
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, we're all in the. I mean, I think our generation we're generally on the same page.
Yeah.
Or at least in the same direction. We're in the same direction.
I mean, I feel like it's also hard to, or maybe not hard. It can be unfair to call out other people sometimes because I remember when George Floyd happened.
Yeah.
And you remember that feeling, right?
Yeah.
Like me at least, I felt like the need to go protesting.
Yeah.
Right. And do you remember when we were walking through protesting through downtown, right?
Yeah.
And we would like pass by restaurants with like people dining outside.
Yeah.
And they like record us as we walked by.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it was like what are you people doing? Like, why are you not over here?
Yeah.
Like you like.
Oh, I did not think of that at all.
I thought of that to me, like I don't know. It's just like I didn't understand how people could not be protesting.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, like I guess a week, but even like
I thought it was a week.
I don't know. Just like once things calmed down to some, I was able to, think more clearly. Because you know how the brain works when you get caught up.
Emotions were definitely high, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
So like it was COVID, and people don't want to get shot by the police. So I mean, there's a multitude of reasons
the people
to
that did
not
protest
go.
were kind of stupid.
But just because you don't go protesting, also doesn't mean you're not doing other things to
that's what, exactly
be
that's what
supportive.
I'm saying. Yeah, like because like people are like Gen Z. I hate to just keep saying liberal. So Gen Z, it's like I said, it literally goes back to lip service. At the end of the day, because they're trying to act holier than you, and and they have to put it out there in the public, and then them, how do I say this? Dehumanizing you for not doing the same thing as them is just literally a power trip that they're trying to have.
You know what? Actually, I have a lot to say on that because I think people our age.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I guess this is a cancel culture topic, kind of, because
in a degree. Oh yeah, it could lead into cancel culture.
People our age,
expect
you to agree with them.
100%. Yeah.
It's almost mob rule.
and not just agree with you, but agree with you in the same way, same policies, same methods of course correction and all that too. You have to agree with them on all those things, not just with the general idea.
Yeah, and I feel like you can't. It's almost dangerous to say an opposing opinion.
Yeah,
and that's because there's become this culture of you
want to be more in the frame.
I've been out of the frame for so long. The light. The light reaches me better here, but
I'm actually going to turn the frame. But yeah, keep talking.
There's this culture of you should agree, and if you don't, something's wrong with you.
Yeah. 100%.
And for some issues that makes sense, honestly.
Yeah.
But that attitude is extremely unproductive.
Oh, 100%.
It's extremely unproductive. 100%. And I feel like the people that have that kind of attitude are actually hurting their own cause.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Because it's here's an analogy.
Yeah.
When you're driving on the road and a Toyota cuts you off and it makes you view all Toyota drivers poorly now.
Yeah.
This is the same kind of thing when someone who is, say, pro-choice is aggressive
towards
to someone who's
pro-life.
pro-life,
Yeah,
and then it just creates more tension because
yeah,
pro-life, that pro-life person is
mhm.
gonna think all pro-choice
Pro
pro-choice
Jesus, baby.
all
Yeah,
pro-choice people are like that,
yeah,
when
yeah,
that's not necessarily true.
yeah,
But
and then vice versa, the same way too. Yeah,
that kind of aggression, it's just unproductive.
yeah, no.
It's harmful. It can be harmful to your own cause. And I think if people were just less hostile,
Yeah,
frankly,
hmm,
and we always claim like open-mindedness,
yeah.
but that the value of open-mindedness seems to fall once
When someone has a
someone,
different opinion.
uh-huh,
Hmm.
and it doesn't have to be that way. And it's not to say like, it's not like whose opinion is moral.
Yeah,
It's like if you would have the courtesy and the patience
hmm,
to have a normal human discussion
yeah.
on these sensitive topics, I think a lot of people would come around, and I think there'd be a lot more understanding as a
Oh,
whole.
100%.
And
Yeah.
we would not have the kind of polarization we have right
Yeah.
now.
I think another problem to that is the fact that our generations, well, actually, no, not just our generation. I think everyone, a strong majority from both sides are guilty of this, but like, they lack the ability to see nuance in things. Because, like, for example, right? So going back to the conversation of pro-life and pro-choice, right? A lot of pro-lifers assume pro-choice just because you're pro-choice and you're pro-abortion, that means you get abortions just for the fun of it, rather than, oh, there's an actual legitimate health issue towards the
Yeah.
woman's body in this pregnancy, or etc. They paint this narrative that they're just doing it because they're evil, or they're doing it just because, like I said, just for the fun of it, which is why, and like, if that was the case, then yeah, I would lean more towards pro-life for sure if that was the case. But I know it's not, because there's rape babies, there's incest babies, like the amount of problems there is behind that situation. It's very, like I said, it's a very nuanced situation. So like, you can't just paint it under like that one guise as to lead your crusade with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it ties back a little bit to what I just said, but
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
if we just have normal conversations,
conversations.
just like
This wouldn't be a problem.
you would understand other people better,
Yeah.
but all other people would understand you better,
Yeah.
and that's better for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's just not. I don't know. I feel like it's dangerous the direction we're moving.
Oh,
I
100%.
think it's dangerous the mindset that Gen Z has
Hmm.
of like this very like, I'm right, you're wrong
Yeah.
mentality. It's just dangerous.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, so I wanted to
And
spit. Yo, what's up?
I guess like, last thing to add on to that, it's not like you have to agree with the other person.
Yeah.
It's not like having this conversation means you're giving up your opinion
Yeah. Yeah.
either. It's literally just like, I want you to understand me,
Hmm.
so I'm gonna follow like the golden rule and try to understand you.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna see you as a fellow human instead of with a red or a blue label.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And that's another problem with Gen Z. It's all about, they always say things like, "Oh, you can't label me," and then
And then go label.
and then it goes labels people.
That's true.
It's
Actually, yeah, I never noticed that before.
like, what's it called? How do I put this?
Oh, actually, have you heard of Jubilee on YouTube?
Yes, I heard it. Yeah. 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 I heard of them.
There was a
You see
do
the
all
flat
Gen
earther
Z
versus the
no, well, there was a do all Gen Z think the same, right?
yeah.
Video or something like that.
Hmm.
And this one Gen Z was like, yeah, we're very open-minded. And then later on she was like, I feel like that person's not Gen Z because of the way they dress or something like that. And I was like,
That's so dumb.
and I'm so glad the comments pointed out the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And of course, not all Gen Z are like that,
Yeah.
right? But I feel like we see that more so in Gen Z
Oh,
than we do in
100%.
other generations.
Yeah, 100%. And they say no, they don't profile people based on the way they look. That applies. Not profiling people based on the way they look goes beyond race. So like
100%.
100% goes with the way you do your hair, the way you dress yourself,
That's why I
etc.
dress trashy.
Yeah, and that's why you are trash. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, like it's so dumb, dude. Like Gen Zs are just. It's very possible that they're very, very much irredeemable because then they're going to pass this on to their kids. But at the same time, conservatives did pass on the same ideologies to the next generation, and like look the
It
way we
didn't
turned
work.
out. It didn't work. So
Isn't that so interesting
yeah,
though?
that's what I think. Yeah, I agree.
It's so
So
interesting.
I'm hoping it doesn't work very well when we pass it to the next generation.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this conversation, we agreed on this very on very many different occasions that the next generation is becoming smarter and smarter because of their accessibility to technology.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so I'm hoping because of that they have a head start, and this allows them to be mature a lot quicker. So I'm hoping this would allow them to be able to see nuance. Anyways, there's also
I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
I have a story behind this. I'll tell later at the end of the podcast.
yeah. I don't know. We'll see because I think it also depends what direction technology moves.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's a good point.
I saw this, I think it was a Business Insider article
Yeah.
that said half of Gen Z. Okay, actually, let's do a fun experiment.
Okay.
When you have a question, right, and you turn to the internet
Yeah.
to get this question answered, what platform do you go to?
Google.
I go to Google too. This article said half of Gen Z goes to Instagram or TikTok to get this question answered
What?
instead of Google.
What?
And that was per Google's own. Well, the article said it was from Google's own
survey, data and survey
that discovered that.
data. Okay, that's so weird.
And that is so weird. And actually, in my nutrition class, they did like polls sometimes.
Yeah.
They're like, where do you get your like food information, right?
Yeah.
And I think like a large number. I think the number one answer was TikTok.
That's so weird. Okay. So like I get I get that food TikTok is very big, but like that's just more so. So, but the way I look at it is, it's more so like what's called recipe ideas, not actual nutrition facts and everything, and how food works scientifically.
Yeah, the poll was about like nutritional value, not like food
culturally. So it applies to TikTok. What? That's insane.
I think I already removed the article from my tabs.
Because here's the problem, right? Anyone can go on TikTok and spew bullshit.
And yeah,
because it takes a lot less effort.
What I was gonna circle that back to is that I feel like Gen Z is one of the more passionate groups about misinformation.
Mm-hmm. As they're the ones spreading
misinformation. But then Gen Z's very reliant statistically on information from social media.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's not to say Google is perfect, right? Because, I mean,
well, it's less so. When Google gives you information, Google's isn't necessarily claiming it's right because
Google give you sources.
Google's pointing you to someone else who can give you the answer you're looking for.
Yeah, and that's why I meant like Google's not perfect because like it still has those X, Y, and Z, of course. But I mean, it's not his job to filter them out.
But at least when you use Google, you can see like, oh, this is like a scientific journal. This is from like a university.
With a Google,
when you find information on TikTok, I feel like a lot of TikTokers don't even cite their sources.
No, they don't.
Like
they don't.
Who knows where that information came from? How do you know it's reliable? Just because it sounds right, just because the person looks presentable and organized, that doesn't mean it's
just because they're well spoken. No,
doesn't mean the answer you're getting is right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. And at the very least, even if an article is wrong that is found on Google, at least those articles puts an effort to back up their points at the very least with their own research, whether it's a thorough research or not. Whereas I don't know, we're TikTokers, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, like that nutrition poll, I was surprised.
Yeah.
The professors were very surprised. And it was honestly concerning to me.
Yeah.
But once I saw this article, I was like, oh shit! Like it's not just a UT thing. It's like,
damn, it's
a generation wide thing.
Dude, that's scary, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I don't know how the next generation is gonna turn out, because I mean, look at the path we're on right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad the people in my circle, at the very least, the people I actually actively talk to, not just look at on Instagram, we're pretty fucking nuanced. I notice it tends to be nerds. Like not the the book smart nerds, but like those fictional nerds that obsesses over fictional work, right? Like for me, DC Comics, I go crazy over that, or Transformers, or like other nerdy shit, right? Because they're the ones that tend to analyze writing a lot more deeper than most people that don't have hobbies.
That's
I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, because like I mean, like film, for example. Filmmaking is my path. I wouldn't say career path, but my path. But no, like so, like one thing I always love about film is like it tells stories very differently than other mediums, and like you have to look very closely to examine that, and that's what nerds tend to do when they're given that. Like they tend to examine it a little more deeply than someone who would only casually watch movies.
Yeah,
that's why most people that will casually watch movies thinks the Star Wars, the new sequel Star Wars trilogy, was pretty good, whereas most nerds were like, "Wow, this is hot trash." Like, oh my god, yeah. Anyway, that's besides the point, though. Yeah, I think our generation is mostly irredeemable. Yeah, that's the point. That was a long tirade for nothing.
I feel like
that was a long tirade for nothing.
I feel like our generation's pretty stubborn.
Oh, 100%.
As well, which does have its pros and cons, but
yeah.
Anyway,
there seems to be a pattern.
Yeah, maybe to start winding things down.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
On Roe.
Oh, hold on, real quick. Did you know Roe got paid out to be anti-abortion?
No.
That shit is hilarious.
I would like to know your source.
It was a podcast on TikTok. No, we'll look into it more. We'll look more into it later. But yeah, what's your question?
What do you think about the religious?
Oh yes, yeah. The religious.
You can tell I'm tired when I can't think of words anymore.
No, like the religious aspect behind this whole thing.
Basically, to me, I think one of the big problems with the overturning is that it's very not separation of state and church.
Oh, 100% not. I do have a comment about the whole concept of separation of state and church, but we'll get back to that in a second.
Oh, I mean.
Okay. You didn't have anything else to say?
I don't know how to put my question into a complete sentence.
Okay, so
but I think you know what I'm trying to discuss.
Yeah, what I think of the situation as a whole. Yeah, no. So like, first of all, I'm going to say this right now. When people say keep religion out of politics, I think that's kind of stupid. Yes and no. It's stupid because what if your religion is people vote based off their values, right? What if their religion just happens to be their values, or their values just happens to line up with the religion they believe in? So are you saying don't vote based off of that then? So let's say someone's religion is very pro-choice, for example, right? So what you're just saying is don't vote for pro-choice, is what I'm saying, or you vote for the opposite, or don't use that as a reason to vote for someone, because I think that's fucking stupid. Like I said, because people's religions are their values, or their values are the reason why they pick out certain religions to follow. So saying keep religion out of politics, it's fucking stupid. What people are trying to say is keep God out of politics, is what they're trying to say. And, as someone who is, values the sanctity of choice, you don't have to believe in God, so I can understand that a little better. That, believe it or not, as a Christian myself, which is probably why you're bringing this up to me.
I mean, that's not why, but.
Oh, well. I
Go
feel
off,
like.
Paul.
Okay, yeah. No, as I'm saying keep God out of politics sits a lot better with me, if I'm being honest.
To me, I mean, I think I get what you're saying, but to me, it's more like I should not be forcing my religion on other people, and it's not like a directly,
Oh yeah.
right? Because
That's why it's to keep God out of politics.
when we have laws that are religiously based, indirectly you're kind of forcing your religion on other people.
Yeah.
Which kind of.
But at the same time, I've talked about this with a friend as well. People have the right to vote on whatever they value. So like you shouldn't expect people to be voting based on your values. People should be voting based on their individual values. Because again, it goes back to my argument about individuality, how we are as individuals are responsible for our own choices.
I mean, yeah, but I think I would say it's not necessarily a thing to say is the fault of the voters. I think more so we can I feel like politicians are more so to blame because you can allow a voter to vote their religious value without a politician making everyone follow that value.
But the thing is, what if the politician just happens to have those values?
I mean, it's a thin line, but I think it's possible.
But what I do want to say is half the Republicans that say they believe in God and have godly values, I can guarantee they do not. But no. Besides the point, right? Let's say let's say how do I say this? Let's pick up some random religion, right? The butt fuck you in the ass religion. Let's say their very values subtle. This one person, this politician just has a fault in that religion, but the policy they're pushing is based off the religion, but they don't directly say it, right? So let's say their religion pushes pro-choice or anti-murder or whatever the fuck, right? And the politician just happens to stand up for that. Are you going to say they're... Oh, actually, hold on. Let me change the context of the situation. That politician does not fall under that religion, but the policies just happens to line up with that religion. Are you going to say they're invalidated for that? Or they're like a fraud for that?
I mean, it's interesting.
Because that's what I'm saying, you know? Religion is ideologies or values. Not... Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in the context of Roe, though.
Yeah.
I do think a lot of pro-life is
very like
religiously pushed. And I think like in this kind of scenario, you're pushing your religion on other people.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Where very easily the alternative is you can practice your values in your own life.
Yeah.
Without requiring other people to follow.
Oh yeah. I told you this before in Discord, you know, how we were talking about how people don't know how to argue with one another anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of what we talked about.
Yeah,
this time also.
This time as well. Yeah, but the context I used was like how pro-life use a value that doesn't exist in the opposing end, whereas pro-choice use a value that doesn't exist in the other opposite end as their bait to dismiss each other. That's not how arguing works. Fucking retards. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I always made fun of pro-choice and pro-life when they're trying to argue, because I feel like this is just my opinion. This is definitely very opinion when I say this. What I'm about to say next, but I think pro-life and pro-choice arguing with one another is the pinnacle example that people, at least here in America, don't know how to argue with each other. They are the pinnacle. They're the face of it. They're the poster child of that idea.
Yeah, I think I'd agree.
So, I mean, so dumb. But yeah.
You know, we need to add a core curriculum. It's debate.
Yeah, like not just. No, I think even debate. From what I was told from people that did take debate, even debate is not.
Yeah, it's not really. I think.
It's not really.
That was half a joke, but I think something similar.
I think our debate program needs to be restructured.
Yeah, debate. Yeah, I think the way debate programs tend to go now is like you need to win. It's not like a compromise kind of thing. I think
better writing classes was actually very important, because then at least
Oh, like persuasive essays.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you remember back, yeah, persuasive essays. Remember, like they made you one paragraph is your stay in the situation. The second paragraph is your stance. The third paragraph is
address the counterpoint.
Well, the counterpoint to your stance, and then the fourth is like the counterpoint to the counterpoint, and then the conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was my favorite thing to do, man. Nah, but
really?
yeah. I mean, I think writing in general is just my thing. But yeah, that's besides the point. But yeah, at least that it forces you. So when you're writing something, right, and it has, especially when it's opinionated, you need to know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And writing really forces you. It really makes you question, do I actually believe in what I believe in? So I try to write or like, it makes you question, are you actually strong in your stance as you say you are? So recently I saw The Batman. That's one of my favorite movies of the year. I tried to make it a writing essay on why it's so good. 2 paragraphs, 3 to 4 sentences each. I could not do it. I could not put it into words. And I'm just like thinking, oh damn, why is it actually a good movie exactly? Like that's what I'm saying, dude. Like people, we need to have better. Well, we need a better education system, period. But
yeah.
But in terms of the topic of arguing with one another, I think persuasive writing or just writing in general is a very important step to that. And I think math, we need a better math program. I guess brain cognitions or the cognitive parts of your brain that is being used in math, the problem solving cognitives.
Yeah, problem solving.
Yeah, so that makes you observe the situation. It makes you become more aware. Okay, hold on. So take that. Take the problem solving, and then take social studies, which presents the problem that we're surrounded. Put them together.
Damn.
Things like that is very fucking important.
You should be on the education board.
Nah, dude, I think yes and no. I give good ideas, but I don't know how to execute them.
Yeah. And
but
yeah, in general, better education.
Better education in general is
fix a lot of things.
That's really all it comes down to, better education.
Yeah, but yeah, I think.
No, I do think of religious. I mean, being forceful with religion was very prominent during this entire thing.
I agree, and
Yeah,
that's part of what makes me upset about this.
Yeah, I'm very upset about it too. You know, like I do, and you know, as you know, I grew up Christian my whole life, and I was very passionate about it. I guess you can say that, or I was on fire for Jesus. That would be the evangelical term to use. I mean, I still am. I just express it very much differently nowadays. But yeah, no, it makes me really question. Oh wow, I think American politics ruined the church and what it actually stands for.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, yeah, that's another conversation for another time.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think that was good.
Yeah. And also we need to talk about. We still need to talk about the shooting in Uvalde. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, there's more.
Yeah.
I forgot. I was like, this is a good spot because I'm getting a little.
Yeah, I can tell you're gonna tell. You gotta drive me home too. Yeah, this makes me really wish. Damn, I should have just drove myself.
Yeah.
But then we would have been able to drink at Chili.
That was a good cherry limeade.
That was a good cherry limeade.
Right.
Shout out to Chili's. That Svedka cherry limeade. My god.
Bro, right there, you sounded like a shout out to Chili's.
Shout out to Chili's. Hey, if you want to sponsor us, I will 1000% take it. I will be 100% sellout. This is culturally Mexican food.
Oh my god.
I was so out.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll do your intro for you again. Okay. To me.
Yeah. Oh, I will say this right now. I think with the gun control situation, that heavily ties into, Roe v. Wade in terms of like the conservative hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm mostly going to dispel some stupid arguments I hear on both sides during this segment. So, but yeah, you say whatever you gotta say first, and I'll come back to what I have to say.
We've had we've had shooting issues for so long
Yeah.
that we are desensitized to it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just like, when another one pops up, it's like, yeah, that's just
America.
That's just how it is, and
terrible.
I admit it is terrible, and I admit to like I fell in that camp too.
I'm there with you. 100% there with you.
I mean, it's hard not to, right? Because you also don't want to live your life
angry or upset,
and grieving every time there's a shooting, like grieving completely.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like frankly, you'd never live your life like if you
do that. Exactly.
It happens way too often.
Yeah, but you can't just like turn a blind eye and move on either. So like it's just such a weird spot.
It is,
or a difficult spot.
I feel like when Uvalde happened, that was different.
Yeah,
because it was an elementary school. Like the stats of like the police not responding in time, being held back,
or not responding properly at all.
Uvalde was different, and I feel like it's really reignited like the passion for
gun reform shootings. I guess. Yeah,
it's like no one should go to school expecting to die.
Yeah,
and then once that situation is happening, the people who are supposed to stop that situation don't stop it. And then the people who are supposed to stop the situation stop other people from stopping the situation.
Which is a terrible line of command.
And
chain of command.
You remember at the protest when people were walking around with like abolish the police signs, right?
Yeah.
And I always thought well, I still strongly believe that abolishing the police is one of the worst ideas possible, because regardless of police are a net positive or net negative,
we know what they are supposed to do on paper. And
they're at the very least a necessary evil, because if we had zero law enforcement, all hell would break loose.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and I used to think, if I ever was like in a abolish the police debate, I would say, who do you think is supposed to stop a school shooting?
Yeah,
that argument doesn't really work for me anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's like an argument that's saying, most good-willing people will do something about it themselves. I can guarantee you, we're not surrounded by a lot of good-willing people. we're not. And on top of that, we're not trained to handle these situations either. So when we do see it, so like a lot of people say, oh, if I see someone robbing a woman, I'm gonna go ninja kick them in the face or something like that. But in reality, they're probably supposed to be standing there in shock, not knowing how to react.
Yeah.
Like, that's another thing, dude. No, there's normalcy bias is very much a thing.
Yeah, but Uvalde was just different situation. Well, it played out differently than other shootings do, and it's just like, it's just so fucking sad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Man. And I feel like I feel like Uvalde had more attention given to it than other shootings have in recent events. And I don't know, like, America got issues.
Yeah, I mean, I get what it comes down to. Like, we already discussed, Gen Z, or just not just Gen Z, liberals and conservatives not knowing how to argue with one another. So we're not going to get a problem solved. And on top of that, neither side doesn't want to admit they don't know what to do. So I mean, I'll admit I don't know what to do either at this point. But instead, I'm going to use this time to dispel some things I definitely do know that won't work. So, or just stupid arguments in general. So, how about this? What do you think of people dismissing gun violence as just a mental health thing? What do you think of that?
I guess you could say it's largely a mental health thing, 'cause I don't think
I'd agree too.
We
I'd be inclined to
really
agree too.
see a lot of shootings that aren't done somewhat by mental health issues.
Yeah.
But it's a multi-issue issue.
Oh, it's a very layered issue. Mental health in itself is already huge, or very nuanced, very difficult in general, right? But here's the thing. I'm gonna say I don't think mental health should be an excuse to exempt someone of their crimes or excuse someone of their crimes. So put it this way: the fact that you have an English to kill someone at all for any reason, I think there's something wrong with your mental health. I mean, other than self-defense or something like that, or or it's a byproduct of self-defense that you didn't mean to, but it just happened. So if you're gonna blame mental health for shooting, then you have to, or like if you want to be lenient on someone's verdict in trial because of mental health, then you have to do the same thing with every single serial killer in prison or every psychopath. You have to do it for all of them too, if that's the case, because then that means because they probably suffering from something from mental health as well. Why aren't we doing anything about them? Why aren't they being lenient towards them either? Because it's a very hypocritical thing to say mental health.
Yeah, I think mental health is a part of the equation.
Yeah,
but
for sure it is.
It's not like trying to make mental health in America better is
they're
going
really
to stop school shootings.
Yeah,
because that's going to take a whole lot longer.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just going to take impractically long.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then that kind of leads to my next argument: banning guns. I think that's just. So if we're not in a situation we're in now, then fine. But saying banning guns to solve the problem in the situation we are in is dumb. And here's my argument for that, right? I mean, I guess you can ban the further imports of guns into this country. Yeah, sure, I guess. But banning guns, as in to take away people's guns, that's not plausible. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I'm against the idea of it, but I'm against the plausibility of it.
It's not realistic.
It's exactly, that's what I'm saying. So there's legitimate people saying, "Oh, that's what we need to do," and I'm just saying, okay, you do it then. If you think it's so easy, then.
I do.
Motherfucker. It makes no sense. Like,
I think I just burped into the mic.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Whatever.
I do agree with that. I do think some class of weapons
should be
are necessary / shouldn't be available to the general public.
Yeah, I agree.
So I do think stopping the future sale of them
is probably the next best thing to do.
Feasible, but taking them away from people that already own them,
good luck.
That's not feasible.
That's literally begging for a firefight.
It's like,
or at least in America, anyways. At least in America, it will be a firefight. I can guarantee you that.
Banning things outright never works in this country. Yeah. Didn't work for prohibition. It doesn't work in states where marijuana is illegal.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't work. Instead, what we do is try to regulate things to keep them safe.
Yeah.
And like you said, like, imagine you owned a gun that the government banned, and I'm like law enforcement coming to you to take it away.
Yeah.
Like, you quite literally exactly. I'm gonna
shoot you, bro.
Like,
don't you take my fucking gun?
Like, it's just gonna cause more violence.
Exactly.
And I think a buyback program is an interesting idea because at least there's an incentive.
On paper. I'll get to that in a second. On paper.
I mean, but at least compared to like a straight up ban / confiscation.
Yeah.
At least if there's a buyback program, there's like an incentive.
Yeah.
And at least those people get something back in return.
And let me tell you why that's not going to work in America. No American's going to use it.
No, not that much.
Yeah, or well, obviously not. No, yeah.
Well, the price would have to be very high.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, very high.
The price has to be very high.
The people the people that really like their guns really
really love
really
gun.
like their guns.
And guess what? That's a good majority of gun-owning Americans. A strong majority of gun.
It could be.
No, it is. Trust me. Or at least in Texas. Okay, let's say Texas.
Cite your source.
TikTok, baby.
But yeah, I don't know. I think the other crazy thing about the gun regulation debate, though, is Second Amendment.
Dumb.
The Constitution. I remember my history teacher in high school told us that America is actually predicted to fall with like in the next, I don't know, a few decades or something.
Yeah.
Because we have the oldest single constitution still in use. What is it? 200 something years old now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I need to check this again, but no other country has ever lasted on a single constitution as long as we have.
Yeah.
And you know, we see it day to day.
Yeah.
Like the cracks.
Yeah.
And you know, I think it is a valid point to say in 17, you know, all the way back then.
Yeah.
Okay, I basically just dodged that because I couldn't remember the number.
Yeah, I mean, we get the point. Whatever
all the way back then was when the Constitution was drafted and signed and all that good stuff. They did not have the same kind of weapons we have now.
No, 100%, no.
But
don't say that my blunderbuss before I capture ass. No, I'm just kidding.
Laws are supposed to keep up with the times.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't think we've had a constitutional amendment for like the last 50 years as well. But like amendments should be more common.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a separate issue. But the Second Amendment is just not meant to be used the way
it is
now.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think it's fair. I mean, I'm not necessarily nobody should have a gun.
Yeah.
But because I do understand, like, there are valid self-defense reasons.
Yeah, 100%. I agree
to want to have a gun.
Yeah.
Because you know it is a pretty good way to keep yourself.
But you don't
protected.
need an AR. You don't need an assault rifle with a grenade launcher to take someone down from afar who's charging you with a knife.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
Like, I think a lot of people sleep a little bit better at night knowing, like, if someone broke into their house, they could protect their family.
Yeah.
With a gun, and I mean,
I think that's pretty reasonable too.
You know, I mean, there are also dangers that come with owning a gun, like in a house with the family.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a different conversation as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think that's kind of what the Second Amendment was meant for.
Yeah.
You know, like self-defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
defend yourself from the fucking government.
Well, actually, I do think the Second Amendment was meant for that as well. Defend yourself from the government. Because think about the context of when the country was founded. Like,
I think like the Quartering Act or something like that. The amendment. That was like.
Well, yeah, that too. But America was born out of running away from a tyrannical government.
Yeah.
And the founding fathers had put gun ownership into the Constitution.
Yeah.
What I remember being taught / I believe in part is because if the government was to try and like seize control of its citizens, because you were allowed to own a gun, you can defend yourself from the government.
Yeah.
And I think if we did have an all-out ban on guns, and then our government was to become tyrannical, we're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, even let's say, even with our guns now, and the government does become tyrannical, the way technology evolved and warfare has evolved, we still would have a chance either way. And
I mean,
okay, hear me out. What is your pistol gonna do against a F-150 in the air?
F-150 is a jet, right?
Yeah, it's a jet.
Wait, what do you? What's the question?
What is your pistol gonna do to it?
Oh,
if our government does become tyrannical and does turn against us,
I mean,
and wage war against us.
Okay, I'm not saying a pistol would be effective. I'm saying that's partially what the Second Amendment was meant for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think part of it at the time was they probably didn't expect to have fighter jets either. So,
well,
I mean,
exactly.
they thought of it as, you know, oh, it's, they probably literally think it would be like fisticuffs almost. It's a fair playing field. Like their musket is no different than your musket.
Oh, I see.
That's probably why that's what they're thinking of probably back then as well.
So what you're saying is that Americans should be allowed to have F-150s too.
Low key, yes. I know you're joking, but like at the same time, I'm like, yeah, yeah.
If the government can have it, so can I.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. The Second Amendment, really, a lot of the Constitution.
I'm pretty sure F-150 is a fighter jet. I just want to put that out there in case I'm wrong.
Okay, well, just use F-150 as an alias for her.
I'll just say fighter jet.
Yeah, but a lot of the Constitution is out, not necessarily outdated, but not meant to last. It was
within the context of the time.
Definitely built in the context of the time, and not all of it was meant
future-proof.
Because the founding fathers did intend for the Constitution to be updated / discarded once we were ready. Because, you know, in the preamble, I think it literally says like the American people can like get rid of their government and start over if they want to. But like, how do we do that? How do I use that? And I forgot the other thing I was gonna say.
I'll lead you to this, right? I feel like people treat guns as a right, and I get it. It gets mixed up when it's a literal amendment, but at the same time, I think guns at this point is more of a privilege or that's how it should be treated. But you know, so that way, you know, if one person ruins it, they ruin it for everybody. In this case, thousands of people has ruined it for everybody. People need to realize that fine line, if I'm being honest. And people, how do you feel about? Hold on, how about this? When people say guns don't kill, but people do, how do you feel about that?
Guns don't kill, people do.
I'll explain this.
I get it. I just had to say it.
I mean, I generally agree with that statement too, but there's, you know, more to it.
People kill, but guns kill too. Like,
here's the thing, right? Yeah, people kill, but what if you took the weapon out of their hand? I mean, that would force them to.
Wait, that argument's trying to say like a gun's no use without
the person behind it.
I mean, technically that's true, but that's also kind of, I don't know. I feel like that's not really the greatest argument because it would.
Yeah, I'm starting to come around to realizing that's not the best argument either because I was behind that for a while.
It's like under that kind of quote.
Yeah.
You could say guns are safe to have around as long as no one's using them.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you can't just keep blaming it on mental health either right now. Like, you know, these people are, so if you know these people are mentally unwell, why would you give them more tools to be destructive? I mean, yeah, I get it. Lots of things kill people. You could suffocate someone with a pillow. You could shove a bottle down someone's throat and suffocate them, or stab someone to death with a knife. Whatever. I get that, but like the efficiency behind a gun, you can't deny the efficiency behind a gun. The efficiency behind one is like way, way higher than the rest I just mentioned.
Yeah.
So like forcing. So let's say you take someone. So just because you're mentally quote unquote ill, again, I'm not a mental health expert. Doesn't mean you're not. Just because you're mentally ill doesn't mean you're stupid by any means, right? So let's say someone's mentally ill. There's a gun in reach. Okay, what if you took that gun out, and they want to kill somebody with it? So let's say they want to kill somebody, but you took the gun away from them. What are they gonna have to do? They have to they're gonna have to find other ways to do that. They're gonna have to search for a knife or a sharp object, and then even if they do, they realize, oh, what's the actual efficiency of this, you know, or probability of this, you know, of killing someone with this, and they realize, oh wow, it's not the most easiest task to do if I have this, and then that's going to just continue to hopefully that discourages them to take any life at all. I mean, just because I think a lot of school shootings, it happens because if guns make it efficient. Take the efficiency away, school killings would drastically decrease. Because how often do you hear about school stabbings?
More often than you might.
I mean, I agree. But compared to school shootings, yeah, I've heard about a UT student getting stabbed. Yeah.
Oh, I was referring to my high school, but...
Oh. Connolly. Connolly. Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah, but... there's a lot of moving parts.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, no. What are some other things I want to dispel real quick? Because I know I can tell you want to wrap up already.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I drive you back.
And I have to drive. I don't blame you. Couple things. Ban guns, stupid. Mental health, yes, that's a problem.
Well,
but that also means guns not a problem either.
Ban guns.
In our world, in our current situation.
Or asterisk is a nuanced thing.
Banning guns in a situation we're in. Or in those circumstances we're in.
Well, because you know how you said like future imports.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. That means you have to define banning confiscating weapons, confiscating guns. Is that more appropriate to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, confiscation of weapons, very unfeasible. How do you plan to do that? It doesn't make sense to me. What? Oh, yeah. I remember what I wanted to talk about now. So I posted on Instagram in my Instagram story, and I expressed how it's a stupid idea. So I think there's a bunch of school bus drivers want to protest against gun violence in front of Ted Cruz's house or something like that. They lined up their buses to be in the shape of a gun. So if you look at that surface level in a red state, what do you think a red politician is going to think? More guns. You're welcome. What the fuck? If you didn't say this was a protest against gun violence, that's such a stupid idea, bro. And there's people in the comments actually saying, "Oh, this was amazing. Good job, guys." I'm like, my God, you're fucking stupid. That's what I'm telling you, people, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Also, just real side tangent. So I saw someone at work the other day. It was a customer. They had a shirt that said "fuck Abbott," but there was a picture of Ted Cruz's face.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope that was a troll.
I hope there's an underlying joke that I'm not getting.
It's like when you. That reminds me of when you said Trump nominated
Nancy Pelosi. Oh, got him. And I don't take it back. Oh my God. Anyways, that wraps up another. Actually, no, I'll just tell you the story in the car while we're driving back. It doesn't need to be in the podcast. But it was about when I said evolving technology is helping more kids become more smarter, or accessibility of technology. Anyways, whatever. That wraps up another episode of the Dustin's podcast. That was a pretty good one, if I gotta say so myself. It took a while to pick up. Anyways, okay, bye.